A lot of people are way off and they think like messianic, nirvana, redemption, paradise, it's like just unlimited pleasure, everything's permissible. Like, have you heard the teaching that, at the end of days, Messiah, after post messianic period, in the redemption itself, pork will be kosher? So a lot of people take this and they just extend it to places where it wasn't supposed to be extended to, or they say like, listen, we're gonna have just sexual orgies in the messianic redemption era, whatever. It's just sexual orgies, and that's obviously bullshit. There's nothing to support that in any of the holy literature. But I do want to discuss something that has similar tones. So let's talk about sin, because listen, redemption is not that we're all gonna sin and Hashem just loves us. Meaning this whole like hippie Nanach movement. I love Nanach, but I'm saying the fake Nanachs, or people that just want to use Nanach to promote their sin, that's not okay. It's not kosher. Listen, Nanachs are not sinful. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, there's fakers out there. They're just pedophiles or perverts or whatever. They want to use Nanach to support what they're saying and say like, look, it's all okay. It's all good. God still loves me. I don't know if God loves you or not, but he definitely doesn't love your sin. Today we're here to talk about sin and appropriate sin, kosher sin. How to sin permissibly, okay? What does that mean? So first off, we have from the Talmud in Kiddushin, folio 40, Kiddushin 40a, okay? 40a. Amar Rabbi Eli Hazakin. So says Rabbi Eli the elder, Imraya Adam Shitzrei Miskaberlav, if a person sees that his temptation, his inclination is overpowering him, Yelech l'makam she'ein makirin oseh, he should go to a place where they don't recognize him. He's not known there. He's a stranger. V'yilbash shechayim, he should wear black clothing. V'yiskasa shechayim, and should be covered in black. V'yasa k'masha li b'chafetz, and he should do as his heart desires. Do all the sins he's got to do, right? But he should not desecrate the name of God in public. Don't go into the street with some whore in your town, in your hometown, where everyone knows you. Yeah, if you're some big rabbi and one day you're like, I can't take it, I'm gonna go fuck some whore. Sorry for my language. Don't do it in your town, in your city, in your rabbinic garb, in your shtreimel, in your kapata. No, go to some foreign place where no one knows you. Dress all in black and do what you gotta do. Okay, I think this is a very, very, very relevant passage. We're going to do one more real quick. All right, in Deuteronomy 21:11, right, it says, it's talking about in a time of war, if the soldier sees a Jewish soldier in a time of war, and see among the captives, right, if he sees a beautiful woman, you have a desire for her and want to take her to you as a wife, right? What do you do? So the Torah permits him to have sex with her. I think even against her will, he can rape her. And the classical rabbinic interpretation, as we're about to see, is that what? There's nothing this guy can do about it. He's at a time of war. His hormones, or whatever it's called, his like energy is all the way up. He's horny. He's bloodthirsty. He's just been killing people. There's really not much he can do to control his physical desires at this point, right? He sees a beautiful woman and he wants to take her. So the Torah gives him a way out where he can do it according to the Torah law. Why? Because if not, he would just go and sin. Meaning, when you're at war and you're killing people and you're all involved in this very, very physical act of killing people, yeah, they're murderers, yeah, they're bad people, they're Hamas or Hezbollah or whoever they are, even worse maybe. You're supposed to be killing them, but it's very easy for your physical-based desires to take control at that moment. And when you see a beautiful woman, there's not really much you can do, apparently, to withhold yourselves. So the Torah gives you a way out, how to do it in a permissible way. So, we'll start here. Let's read the English. There are those who say a different version of this dispute. With regards to the second act of intercourse, everyone agrees that it is prohibited, as she is a convert, right? So the priest, we're talking about a priest, and a priest may not marry a convert. I think the understood explanation is when you're at war, you can have sex with her once, even rape, even if she's not willing. I think. I'm not sure about this, but you can have sex with this woman one time on the battlefield. If you want to take her home and marry her, You have to do the whole process of making her ugly. She has to grow in her nails, cut off all her hair. She has to cry for 30 days, blah, blah, blah. And the whole point is that at the end of the 30 days, you're not going to want her anymore. She's so ugly, you don't even want her anymore, so you're not going to have her. But if you still want her, then she has to convert. You convert her forcefully, and then you can marry her as a wife, okay? Something like that, okay? Okay, when they disagree, it is with regard to the first act of intercourse on the battlefield itself. Rav says it is permitted, as the Torah spoke only in response to the evil inclination. And Shmuel said that it is prohibited as any situation that one can read with regard to it. Then you shall bring her home to your house in Deuteronomy 21:12. One can also read and fulfill with regard to the earlier command, and see among the captives a beautiful woman, and you have a desire for her, and would take her to your house, Deuteronomy 21:11. Okay, where are we trying to get to this? The sages taught. Okay, there's a few laws. Only if he sees her while she's captive, while he's in the battlefield. Even if she's a married woman, is implied by the expression a woman, right? A woman means a married woman, apparently. So what does the phrase a beautiful woman mean? Why does the Bible say a beautiful woman? Indicates that the Torah here spoke only in response to the evil inclination, as it is due to her beauty that he desired her. And why does the Torah permit this? It is preferable for Jews to eat the meat of dying animals that were slaughtered, and let them not eat the meat of dying animals that were not slaughtered, but which will become carcasses. What does that mean? In other words, it is preferable for this act to be performed in a somewhat permitted way, rather than in a manner that is entirely prohibited. Okay? So, what am I trying to bring out here? Two things. One is that you see how the Torah goes out of its way to prevent us from being sinners. Really, this woman should not be permitted to the soldier. There's no reason why the soldier should be able to be with this woman. But because it's going to happen anyway, and we prefer that the Jew eat the meat of dying animals that were slaughtered, and let not them eat the meat of dying animals that were not slaughtered. Meaning he's gonna eat this dying animal anyway. He's gonna have sex with this foreign woman that he captured at war anyway. So we prefer he do it in a permissible way than a non-permissible way. So we're gonna permit him to do it in a certain way. And this is not even a Talmudic law. This is straight from the Bible, right? We said in Deuteronomy, wherever. Right. So why does God permit this? Because he doesn't want his Jewish soldiers, sinning, and he knows the nature that he created us with, and there's no way out. So you can see there's a certain scenario where the guy's going to do it anyway. So the Torah permits him a way of doing it, a certain way of doing it, so that he's not in sin. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, right? Okay, the second point I want to make here is it has to do with the black garments of the sinner that we talked about at the beginning of this video. That if someone needs to sin and he can't control his desires, he should go to a place where he's not recognized. He should put on black clothing and do whatever his heart desires there. So there's like this dual there's two things going on that I can see. One is that we want to be realistic about things that are going to happen, and if someone can't control his desires, they do something anyway. Do it in the most permissible way, yeah. And I mean, there's also not desecrating God's honor, but also to do things in the most permissible way. And it has to do with this concept of being like hippie and free love and saying like, look, God loves us anyway. We could do whatever we want. It's okay. God loves us. That's not true. God loves you anyway, for sure, but it doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. And that's not the point of this holy thing we got going on with God. It's not that we can do whatever we want and God loves us anyway. No, the point is we should not desecrate God's name. And also at the same time that God recognizes that we have these base desires, and he gives us a way to do it in the most permissible ways. So if someone's going to be sinning anyway, go dress in black in a foreign place where no one knows you and do what you got to do. And if you're in the battlefield and you can't control your desires, God gives you a way out of how to be with her. Yeah, that's all, folks.